Hello there, fellow wanderers of the field. Starless Plains here, and welcome back to another episode of The Letter. In the previous episode, it was pretty calm, pretty steady, and nothing hectic came on about, and we finally noticed that, in a quick event, that the Wrights have decided to finalize the deal and decided to at least just buy the mansion, even though it was, having a curse and all that, but, I would say that the previous episode, I don't know if I should say this, probably be the calm before the storm. But I'm hoping things will intensify in this episode probably, but we'll never know. Let's get to it. Where am I at right now? Alright. Before we can get to that, let's head to the journal first. Let's see. Oh, October. Let's see. Nothing new. Let's see, Lexborn. Let's see. Let's see, Isabella received an unexpected call from her family in the Philippines. In an emotional moment, her mother informed her of her father's deteriorating condition despite treatments. Nonetheless, the young woman assured her and continued to work hard to be able to support all of them. Ah, so that's her family. Huh. Let's see, Saturday, October 22nd. A day after the open house, the Wrights were seen securing the mansion's purchase as Briar Reality's Luxburn office. Parties involved in the transaction are surprised at how fast it went, but agreed it was to be expected when dealing with influential people like the Wrights. Happy over the sale, Isabella Santos treated her friends to lunch. Well, of course, it's a bit too late to assume everything and all that, so... So, all we got is just Isabella. Alright, then relationship? What's new? Zachary's up there, Rebecca, it's a little bit down, Ashton. You know, I come to a fact that I really don't like Ashton because of his attitude and all that. And of course, I think I've grown fond of Zachary. But, alright, let's get to the game. The sky is cloudless, and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. It's far from being unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood, or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have step members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I think that's how it's pronounced. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxborn remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd filled the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Reality for me, Zach to meeting with the magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her leisure plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking along and glance over something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turn my head to the last shop we checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. What the? Whoa, such a very horrific scene to see. She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. I'm having a funny feeling this curse is about to start soon, later on this episode probably. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs. Each beat, every thump, screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me an attentive step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds in her arms or her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
Oh no, stop. Leave me alone.
What the fuck? Her face confers as she let out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There's only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please, I don't want this!
Before I knew it, I'm stumbling backwards. My own throat hoarsened from the screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. Ugh, sorry. Whoa. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself, all worried while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaken as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made it home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up. Anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You are screaming. Zach, call someone. No, don't. I'm good. I'm good.
Sure you're good, Isabella? Not after what you saw.
I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Zach. You watch over her for me.
Shit.
I'll call for someone.
I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can't stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity's stifling, everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. Holy shit. Never expected anything like that to happen. Well, as I said in the beginning of this episode, I hope things will intensify in this episode, but seems like I'm a bit right. I think. Alright. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with only the occasional drips of water in the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, excuse me, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud. If only there's a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I left wide open. Why do you even leave it wide open? I never know who might crawl in there. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table. It edges flutterily, innocuously, as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper could bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away, or rip it to pieces, is still there. Well, why did you do it? I can easily do it. But after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing that she's real, I might also go after people I care about. I just wish someone could listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Great, it's Ash. Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon?
Thank you so much for spamming my inbox, scaredy cat.
Yeah. Fuck you too, Ash.
Hey, Ash.
What's wrong?
I just had a long day. The couple who bought the house wanted us to finish processing the papers within the week. It's a little hectic, but we'll manage.
Really? You sold it?
Don't sound so surprised. I told you, you don't stand a chance. The rights won't take no for an answer. You've been on the losing end from the very start. Ha!
You go.
Whoever said I was interested in the house in the first place?
But you said...
Despite a slight tone, his snicker only comes off as annoying to my ears. I have to fight the urge to end the call right then and there. Stupid Ash.
You're such an ass.
Exactly.
And just so you know, I'm not treating you to a separate celebration. Or ever.
No, that's just unfair. And here I was looking something up for you. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to Andrew?
I pause. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, considering how much he scoffed at the whole topic in the first place.
Is he okay with that?
Totally. Besides, I need to ask him about something. I might as well do it soon. What do you say you come with me tomorrow morning?
Well, there's no harm in it, I suppose. I've got a free day anyway.
Great, I'll just pick you up. Don't oversleep.
Don't compare me to you. I'm not the one who sleeps like a rock.
Another round of chuckles come from him. Oh, I will live for the day he stopped making fun of me. Just you wait, you ashhole. I'm just about to end the call. He clears his throat.
And, Isabella?
His sudden defiant tone sends my eyebrows shooting up into my hairline. Is the world ending today?
Yeah? Did you forget something?
Do you think Never mind. Good night.
He hangs up instantly. Rude. Completely rude. I didn't even get to thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Of course, it's probably obvious that maybe Ash has feelings for Isabella, probably. We'll never know. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Alright. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream. Of clear skies, and of restrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. October 23rd. Nice. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy, and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Ash's call late last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair a deceived mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looking like he hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorably rumpled this way. But I'm not going to tell him that. It only bloated his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
He makes a motion with his fingers around his ear, tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers with the slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more. He has never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that, I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. Ha! There's a reason why mornings are my favorite. It doesn't take long for us to reach our destination. The small cafe is situated in Luxborn's busiest street, The same one I often visit with Becca for its cheap food. I've never gone here on Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekend and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back home, near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place was always had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing on a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work, but still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact both Ash and Becca have vouched for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw on a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant step forward, and then Ash suddenly pulling me back my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Without warning, he flicks my forehead. Hard.
That hurts! What was that for?
He's already walking away when I looked up. I hurried to catch up to him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least, explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. So rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were in King last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey, don't just ignore me.
Fucking asshole. All questions and retorts die in my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as soon as we step in. Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons. But most of the customers have foregone them, in favor of the more comfortable throw pillows and bean bags the staff has laid out on the floor. Becca would have loved to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book.
Professor Clark.
Oh, so that's the professor.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
The guy, Andrew, looks up from his books and gives him a smile. A sheepish look crosses his face in the oldest man's admonishment. Now he's blushing a bit. And more usual, in my opinion, is seeing him appear like a parent just as scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond that someone expects from a simple student and mentor. And with another warm smile, he gestures for us to take the empty seats opposite him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time. But I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here. I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
Soon enough, a waiter brings us 2 more cups and sets down a plastic basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right, sorry. Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Filipina, actually. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Ah, your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew is fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
He doesn't even listen to anyone. More like. The awkward tension typically presented in first meetings dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict and, to an extent, someone severe. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I have in mind. The more personable kind, similar to a grandfather who dotes on you at family gatherings. It's obvious why Ash has taken a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
I gave Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures towards Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I keep it short and concise. I found a letter in this old mansion. Now I'm cursed. Exactly as I have told Ash and Zach when they asked about it. I didn't mention the name of the place. No use saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm sure it's that letter I found. But I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anslem Village, aren't we?
Oh boy, he knew.
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me.
Really?
Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history. And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing, in the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
My head is starting to spin from all this. I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I look at Ash for help. His eyebrows are drawn to a frown. He keeps staring like that at his cup. I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights. Then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights. Luke and Hannah, right?
He knows?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it. From what I've heard, word gets around.
A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular or not, they're just my clients. Albeit a little pushy, but just clients. End of story. I wish you stopped pestering me about them. Yeah, I don't know about trying to help. Shut up, Ash. You know what? We're trying to be as calm as professional as all that, but let me do this one, the first one. What was it again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? That pesky, annoying kind? I wish I could remember. I could certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now? It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Oh, shut up, Ash. I wish I should have just let her say, shut up, Ash.
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Oh, Lord. Even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me. If you only spell it out, surely I understand. You wouldn't even have to talk about it right now. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground. Talk about it like the adults we are. It wasn't like this before. But somewhere along the way, something has changed in us, as people, as friends. I wish there's a way I could tell when or why. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons, Next thing we know, they'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
Fuck you, Ash.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of the conversation, Ash looks like he's prying on the ground to swallow him. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's bad at art, he has a personal vendetta against warnings. Now? Now it feels like he isn't that hard to figure out, after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. But before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. Just keep in mind that when it comes to cases such as this, they aren't always what they seem.
Naturally, the mansion in the letter was brought up several times during our talk. And though Ash is right, in that Andrew offers a different perspective, he has left me with more questions than answers instead. What is she? What does she want from me? Is she ever going to leave? They all continue to bug me after we left the coffee shop. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on my way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
Oh boy.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall, a little ways away from the movie house. If I wasn't paying closer attention, I would have missed it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets out the car and walks to its direction. Sheesh, if you would buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. It makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, however. Soon, he's walking back, holding 2 fish steak cones in both hands? Ice cream? Parfait? A cross of the two? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up on an F figuring out what he bought. Not that it looks bad. It's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I've had to move my head back a little when he thrusts at me to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings fermenting up in my nose.
What's this for?
Oh, that looks pretty delicious.
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2.
With a worried glance, I take it off his hands. I still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. Nevertheless, I take a small bite. It's actually pretty good. I must have shown my face because he chuckles as soon as I take another one.
Saw the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try. It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Do I need to have a reason?
Yeah, you do, Ash.
Are you really going to ask me that?
Here's the thing that with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Well, hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle. Of all the people who asked me that. I have to expect such requests from Becca, but Ash? Not at all. If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
Anyway, during the movie, we, that's to say, you, we...
Oh, come on! Fucking spit it out, Ash!
Shit. Should have written down something first.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Exactly.
Right. I'm sorry.
What?
Not I'm sorry for, you know, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say?
Oh, what do you expect her to say?
You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
I could agree on that. Just about. I bite into the cone again, a small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why am I feeling so embarrassed over an apology? I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him, and in that fraction of a second, it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is an awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this. For people like us, for understandings and sentiments like this. Yet, in this instant, they won't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after. Phrases instead, still hanging heavily in the air. Oh, that's a pretty park. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier, more languid vibe than usual. Where children are you usually seen running around and playing, there are other people leaning back in their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one could catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. I couldn't agree on that. Maybe I should try walking home today, to get rid of my mind of things? To try and find the words somehow? I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Even so, I linger. We both do. A mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and a far-off distant memory. A fall starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people playing the same parts. Funny. How of all the days, my brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Ash exits his car. His strides are unsteadily when he approaches me. Or maybe this is his uncertainty showing? I'm not quite sure. He hasn't ever looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. He stops a short distance from me, close enough that he's within from an arm's reach, but just far enough for his voice to be heard over a decent small talk. If this is what it's going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
Huh? Is this... A small bag lands cleanly on my outstretched hands before it hits the ground. Maybe some kind of a little tea pouch or something? Well, I would say tea bag, but that wouldn't be the right words. Peach flavor? I raise an eyebrow at him, and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands back into his pockets. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, Papa said long ago. For once, this time, I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said.
Ah, so like a good luck charm.
I don't believe in this stuff now, but if it makes you feel safe since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one to carry around.
Perhaps, at the moment, there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. right, but right now, I could thank him in the best way I know. You're not bad after all. You can be nice when you're trying. I'll go for the second one. I close the short distance separating us and give him a light punch in his arm. The gesture, familiar, in place of phrases one cannot spin together or answer too early to seek out.
See, you can be pretty nice when you're trying.
I am nice.
Yeah, you're nice.
When you're sleeping, but thanks for this.
Don't go losing it. It brings bad luck if you do.
Yeah. But that luck charm wouldn't even work if the curse is still up.
Wait, are you serious?
I knew there's a catch. This ash hole.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? Oh, I should have known.
Not entirely.
Not entirely.
But seriously, if anything happens, tell me. I'll be around.
Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. He's back to teasing me. Back to our usual routine. Back to what we're comfortable with. But for all that, I believe in him. I just hope I can keep them safe. Keep him safe. A light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and distinct smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good? I needed to visit the grocery too. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? The cat's name is Beruthiel? Huh? Or at least that's what his collar says. It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace, much like the ones it carries it. It shows in the way he switches his tail and his eyes follow my hand in every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. Wasn't a bad idea, carrying 2 heavy bags of newly brought art materials and groceries, without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I should have brought all these in the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now, I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up in a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat. Wait a minute. A black cat. But back at home, they're considered ill omens. Yeah, there's like... Of course, there's like some countries that believe in superstition and all that, but... I'm a little bit superstitious, but not too superstitious. Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brother and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite? Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Not a erotica. Well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Oops. Sorry. Wrong button. There we go. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat. As long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets.
That sucks.
I tried to bring one home before. A cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
Oh, really? I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one into my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
The guy's like, eat me! He doesn't meow again as I was expecting him, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece into my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice, before...
Baruthia!
That's how it's pronounced. Baruthia? Huh, that's her, what is it, crap. Like a good, properly trained pet, Maruthiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCulloch's hard to miss, what with her height.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCulloch.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Veruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even ran away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Veruthiel's a she.
She? All this time, I thought the pause in the conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meeting like this didn't happen a lot. And if it does, a simple nodding of the heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly wouldn't hurt, right? I don't know if I should talk... Should I talk about a cat or a job? Nah, I keep my tone cordial and warm.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCulloch.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about it, and...
Nothing has happened to me so far.
I don't like the expression on her face. Displeasure is evident in her face. I guess I should have chose the other one. Of course, I've forgotten that for other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. Here you go again, running your mouth off, Isabella. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but she holds out a hand.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so? It is good to see you again, Santos.
Complete dismissal, if I ever heard one. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she has forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion, the
letter. The same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCulloch that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not gonna believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCulloch.
I hastened to pick all the bags I left on the bench and ran as far as my legs can take me. In the moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the unwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who had been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what is gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keeps returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening.
What?
Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper,
Rose?
33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
What happened to her?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Oh my fucking god. No. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone's kept telling me, so immediately I rushed to my studies table and searched my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as I touch its edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I picked up the device. But I paid it no mind. There are more important things. Right now. Right now. I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago and she was okay. No. 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 It isn't Rose. I'm sure of it. I just talked to her and my sob escaped me and hot tears began to flare my vision. One after another, they trickled down, weighing by the same guilt I refused to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that was put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number in my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again, I dial. Whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
Anselm Butcher case? The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. But in my ears, I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. Help me. We're not safe. Holy fuck. Well, I am definitely gonna leave it right here. Holy fuck, I never expected anything like that to happen. Especially Isabella's, coworker and all that. I never knew she can actually... Oh my fucking god. But the Anselm Butcher case? I'm having a funny feeling Ash was trying to do an investigate with that kind of a situation. Wait a minute, did he mention that like a few episodes ago? I think so. Yeah, he was probably talking about it a few episodes ago. I guess it kind of slipped my mind, but holy fucking shit. I never knew anything could turn a turn for the worst like this. Well, I said it right there. I know things will probably intensify in this episode, and maybe in the next episode it'll get more in-depth, or probably more will happen. Who knows? But, alright, that's all for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode. See you then.